It's time, Turtle, to kick it off here for this week in the final regional. We get to finally send our 5 teams from Europe to the Winter Major. And Queso versus Karmine Corp is the first one on the docket. Turtle, Queso was 0-2 in their group, and they somehow still made it out.
I have no idea how Queso are even here right now. They had to get a reverse sweep against Vitality, and then they also got a reverse sweep in the playoffs against Williams Resolve. So nobody knows why they're here. Nobody knows how they're here, but that experience and then the first 2 regional events with them both getting grand finals. I mean, an amazing performance from them throughout the entire split, and they just continue that momentum regardless of how difficult that path might be.
And regardless of how good Queso may be, it certainly wasn't their best day yesterday, even though they are still here in the lower round. And for KC, an opportunity here to maybe take advantage of a slow starting Queso, as Queso is trying to play this one out from their own side at the moment. Good little pinch will bail them out.
We had an interesting desk too, very hot desk, okay? They were feisty on that desk, arguing about who's gonna win, who's gonna take it. Obviously, everybody was going Queso, and wait a second, here comes Vatira to score the first early goal off of a backboard read, and Itachi was back alone. Could have gotten a better hit, but ended up getting dunked by Rise, and Vatira with a nice and easy follow-up. And I was just about to mention, it seems like Team Queso, you know, they haven't been struggling necessarily, but they come into this event and everybody's hungry. I believe the stats were 43% of all series yesterday went to Game 5, which is unbelievable. I mean, stats like that really show that these teams are hungry. They're prepared to fight until the last game. And for Queso to make it here and continue proving themselves, even whenever they've already secured the major, I mean, that says a lot about how hungry these players are, especially in comparison to Karmine Corp. It looks like we've got a stalemate so far in the corner. 50-50 is all over. Astral looking to get something off the backboard. Doesn't find it yet. Goes in for the 50-50. And Joyo's there to keep the pressure moving forward. We've got a lot of aggression from Team Queso. 50-50 wins all over. And Astral doing a lot of work. And we're going to need to see more from Astral. Everybody questioning Astral's ability. We've seen him really for quite some time here in the RLCS, and he's made a name for himself. But his team not really done too much damage, and they're looking to change that in this event. It's surely possible, given the skill. We even heard the desk talk about how much potential is on this roster. Stumpy was just not a fan, but he's looking to get his mind changed today, and it can surely happen. Itachi going in for the 50-50, doesn't find it, and they'll look to get out of their own half. Karmine Corp stuck right now. Still looking for something is Astral. Can't win that 50-50, and we're thrown back to the other side. Here comes Rise, a nice little give and go in the midfield. Doesn't lead to anything. Vatira with the follow-up, and it looks like Team Queso, they are on a tear. They're continuing on that reverse sweep energy, and they just do not stop, Corelli.
This is what you want from Team Queso when you talk about maybe some slow starts from the group stage earlier on. This is the start that Queso wants, especially against a team like Karmine Corp. We talk about, or we listen to what the desk said and what they had to say about Karmine Corp. They do have that opportunity. They do have that skill to really take off, and right now they're not showing it because it's all Team Queso at the moment.
Well, and their defense has to hold up. I mean, they can't be conceding goals like this off of a big clear stake. He's not in position. Astral's running back. Nobody can get the read on what Team Queso are doing, and now it's 3-0. Vatira with a hat trick.
What a start for Team Queso, and they were hungry for this day because they knew that they probably didn't put up their best day yesterday. They had to go back to the drawing board, and they have certainly come out here hungry for that first spot here in Europe for the Winter Major.
And it's crazy because we were talking to a couple of people, including Direct, you know, who handles a lot of the stats and knows the scenarios, and he said that after Team Queso had played, they were asking immediately in his DMs, you know, what do they need to do to get #1 seed, and that just proves how hungry these guys are. They want to go even farther. Making the major isn't enough for them, Corelli.
No, absolutely not. And on the other side, for KC, opportunity to play spoiler and, of course, increase their chances. Their road's a little bit tougher, but still, you got to take it game by game. And right now, game #1 has certainly not been in Karmine Corp's favor. Maybe the first
There it
goal.
is.
Tachi is just wide. Astral's going to try and make up for it and follow up by Stake. Still can't put it away. Stake still forcing the issue across the box. Still a bit too high, though. And a threatening attempt, at least, from KC, but not able to put it away.
That's all thanks to Vatira, who has not only the hat trick here, Corelli, in this game, but also finding that save, pinching it off the post, and keeping his team still unbeatable on the defense. They can't allow even one shot to pass that goal line. KCorp, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and they need to figure something out because things aren't looking too good. There's a demo now from Rise that's going to alleviate a lot of pressure. Joyo looking for some kind of pass in the midfield, doesn't connect, but wasting a lot of precious time off the clock.
A lot of space for Queso to work with right now. Some uncontested touches on the Karmine Corp side. Karmine Corp, though, has to play a bit of defense now. Once again, off the back wall it goes. Itachi to clear it away. 30 seconds left, and Queso in full control. Vatira, 3 goals on 4 shots here in game 1. Only 3 in total for Karmine Corp, as they've struggled to put together an offense here and have played a lot of defense against Team Queso, which I guess is par for the course for a lot of teams when they go up against Team Queso. They put on so much pressure.
Yeah, and here's Vatira again getting another save, looking to carry this one out. 5 seconds left. It doesn't look like KCorp have anything left in the tank, and they're going to have to look to game 2 because game 1 was all Team Queso taking the lead and getting an early start.
And the start that Queso needed, not the start that Karmine wanted. And they're going to have to take this break and really figure out how to get into this game. Again, they showed some opportunities, right? There were, especially at the end of that game, you saw a few chances come down. They maybe were half chances, quarter chances even, but opportunities to spend some time on the Queso side, but weren't able to put something too threatening on net. And I think that's kind of the biggest difference maker. The defense, it was okay. You're going to feel a lot of pressure when you play Queso, but when you get those opportunities downfield, you've got to put them away.
Yeah, and just a nice little replay then of that save that we saw from Vatira. And I was also noticing as we were looking at those replays, Corelli, 2 out of 3 of the goals from Team Queso were on the transition. So it seems as though Karmine Corp, they don't know how to transition back on defense and get involved and try to intercept those passes in the midfield. So Team Queso, it's one quick pass from the midfield, and they can put an early shot on target. That seems to be the strategy they're going for, and it's working wonders against KCorp.
Into game 2 we go. Rise almost back on offense there. That one just off the post. Now Astral trying to set something up. His teammates waiting for his pass across. Stake can only help it along to the sidewall. Now Vatira, he wanted to bring that one down, slow the game down a bit. But a good challenge by Astral will put an end to that. Tachi now.
What on earth? What? I don't know what's going on with Rise right now. How is he still on the ball? What is going on?
He's still there.
Had no boost. He's still going. He's still going. Corelli doesn't stop, just winning 50-50 after 50-50. And if a player like that can make that much work and that much damage with no boost, imagine what'll happen when he does get some boost in his tank.
Yeah, did a great job of standing behind the ball, but Stake now puts one under Vatira, and Karmine Corp start off on the right foot.
And it's all thanks to Stake, and then a 50-50 from Astral sends it up to Itachi. Lovely pass there. And there was space on the backboard for Itachi to go for a backboard double tap, but instead he recognized that Stake would be on the right side and went for the pass instead. Lovely positional awareness and communication to know that his teammate was in that spot.
So certainly the start for Karmine Corp for them. And maybe some more opportunities. Astral pokes one free, another touch just wide of the net. Itachi now trying to push it off the back wall. Some good opportunities, though. Queso got to be careful. Joyo all the way across Rise, tried to put it away. Vatira will commit as well. Everyone involved from Queso. And Karmine Corp come out and at least break up the offense for now. Still Joyo with 0 boost.
The demo, that's got to be free.
Needs one more. Rise is there, and we're tied up.
And I'm not sure how effective this demo was on that last man back, or if that would have resulted in some kind of rotation. Either way, you're able to get a nice follow-up. All thanks to Joyo putting on some damage and doing some work on the offensive side. All tied up. Team Queso figured out a way to break through.
It's good work by Queso there. A couple of chances to break down that defense. And keeping the offense in the final third is so important. You can whittle away at a defense, and that's exactly what they just did.
That seems to be the key for Team Queso, keeping that ball obviously on the offensive side and just waiting for one mistake to come out of KC, because that defensive rotation, it has not been perfect this series, Corelli, and they're making sure to punish on those small gaps on the defense.
And you can see KC try and be a little bit more disciplined when they go up. Like we just saw Astral there kind of pump fake to the ball because he saw Itachi go up as well. Trying to get that discipline and finding it, especially against a team like Team Queso, is so important. And I think in this game in particular, KC have done a good job. Now some opportunity for offense. Stay chasing the man in the backfield. Astral, could he cut it across? He'll fake it. He doesn't want it to pinch out and try his chances with the cross. Tachi gets a little thrown off by the extra touch. And so he'll just be annoying and make sure this one isn't an easy clear for Team Queso. Astral, that one went straight to Rise. Now it's a dangerous ball. Vatira trying to get the read. Almost a touch. Nobody hits the ball, and it drops in for Team Queso.
A nice little fake from Vatira, and the defense just thrown out of the window for KC. You can see Itachi was up for this, expecting a touch from Vatira, and instead, he absolutely breaks his ankles, doesn't know what's happening, and that ball just floats in.
And with so many players up as a defender, you have so many options you have to cover. You just have to kind of pick.
Right. And with a team like Queso, you expect them to get those touches.
Right. And you're picking the opposition hitting the ball, too, in most cases. You really don't try and read that type of fake, especially with it so close to net. But here comes Astral as that one's turned away by Vatira. Still 2 minutes left to play. Queso finding a 1-goal lead here, and it has not been as easy. I think KC have really woken up here in game 2 and have looked a lot stronger.
Oh, absolutely. And their rotations are certainly more spot on. They're getting chances now, getting bumped, though. Rise looking to take out a couple of players. He did bump Itachi, who's back in rotation and looking to get something in the midfield. Doesn't find it yet, but the offense, the pressure, it is starting to stabilize for KC, and they might be able to get an equalizer here unless maybe a clear comes out for Queso from Vatira.
Queso sending all 3 players into their corner, but they do get the clear, and in the end looks quite clean. Astral with a couple flip resets, or didn't get the second one, attempted double flip reset. Still some good possession here, I think, on the Queso side for Karmine Corp. Astral needs another one. Got 2 to go from Queso. Tachi trying to make this one still a bit difficult for Queso to get out. That's maybe not the best touch from Stake. Astral's got to retreat. Vatira direct on target, as Itachi will have an easy dunk and clear. Now Astral, he found Stake downfield. Stake gets a second touch, and Queso are very inviting to those long clears. Rise. Oh, he gets a little pop off the back wall. And watching that one from Astral's POV, had really no read on Astral, or excuse me, on Rise hitting that ball in the way he did. I'm
loving the creativity from Team Queso. This is what makes them such a good roster on that offensive side. The mechanics, their ability to go for some very unique and odd-looking plays. I mean, we just saw a whiff from Vatira that ended up being a fake that sent the ball floating in. What else do they have in reserve to use on offense with that creativity? But you're going to have to make sure your defense stands up tall. Joyo gets that save, but then the drop down to Itachi, and that's going to equalize it. The team play from Karmine Corp.
And that's a great placement from Itachi, but also a great touch from the back on the back wall to force Joyo to make a tough play. And that ball right back down into Itachi's hands, and the placement is just perfect for KC. They're back in it with 17 seconds.
And now that's both goals for KC, where they have a player on the right side, and they're opting to go in for that pass instead of take that selfish solo play. And then another fake might actually end up for an opportunity out of Team Queso. They don't get it, but they're looking, they're hunting for that extra goal. They don't want to go to OT.
Stake has an opportunity here. I don't think he had a lot to work with there. Wanted to kill it instead. Into overtime in game 2, and in a game, I think, again, KC have looked so much better. And for Queso, they've certainly executed on the opportunities given to him. 9 shots to the 7 on the KC side.
Right. And I mean, everything is on the line here for KC. I mean, you lose this game, you're looking at a reverse sweep, which we actually have seen quite often, especially from Team Queso so far in this regional event. But still, it's a lot to ask. You almost think this is a must-win game for KC.
Certainly feels that way, especially with the way Queso's been playing today. Much better. Here's Rise. He's thrown a couple fakes now into the air, and it's certainly messed up the read on the defense for KC. Here's Rise again. Passes that one across. A little bit too heavy. It went over Vatira. Unfazed are KC for the moment. Stake forced to go, and a light touch well, at least keep possession. 2 go from KC to clear that one downfield. Now Joyo with a lot of space.
There you go, Astral. Almost got a touch there. And I'm looking at Karmine Corp on the defensive side. They're getting the reads correctly, but they send these shots and these clears downfield, but nobody's there to answer it, and they can't get up on offense.
I think the biggest thing for KC this game, the offense is there. The defense has been a lot more disciplined, but they just can't beat the last man in Queso. That's been the tough part. Even in their last goal, Joyo still got a piece of that ball. It's just that last man in Queso, he sits so deep. And it's tough for KC to really break through. That's a fantastic touch over to Rise. It was just a bit too far out in front of him. As now KC wants to return the favor. Not going to happen. It's shut down by Queso.
And if you're KC, you need to be alert for those big clears out of Team Queso that happened in Game 1. That's the reason why they lost it. They weren't prepared and couldn't get the read on where Team Queso wanted to go, how they were passing the midfield. And it's transitions like that where you need to be careful. So seeing them get the read and get in the way, finding an interception, that's a good sign for KC in their defense.
Demo on stake and the clear. But he's got an open net. Nobody was back in position for KC. And in overtime, Queso will take Game 2.
And Vatira, he takes you out of the play. You don't expect it. You don't even see him rotating in. And then 1 second later, you're deleted off the field. A quick rotation around, and Vatira gets the goal. And now KC, they're looking at a reverse sweep to stay alive. And even just to get to the major, Corelli, they have to go all the way. They have to keep winning. They obviously can't take a loss. You're top 2 at least for KC. And now they got to do it with a reverse sweep.
Boy, it's going to be tough here against Queso. And that's such a disappointing way to, I think, lose that overtime. Because I think KC was playing a phenomenal game here against Queso. It was quite good.
Right.
And one demo was the difference maker in that overtime. And that line pushed up, I think, so far for Karmine Corp, but just the margin of error, it really showed itself, right? One demo, all of a sudden, open net for Team Queso. So you're right. It's a reverse sweep situation now for KC, and one that is a losing battle at the moment.
Yeah, and apparently there's only been 13 reverse sweeps so far this season in EU, and KC, they don't own one of them. So this is going to be their first one for the season. It couldn't come at any better of a time because there's major contention, their major lives on the line, and they need to start out hot.
Let's see if they can do it. Certainly with the play they put in the last game, it's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
This one is going to get over the head of Astral, but easily dealt with the hat flip going back. Like I said, I do think that for KC, it is beating that last man. A lot of times it is Joyo back there.
Yeah.
That last man, that's just so hard to get by. Vatira as well.
Yeah, Vatira, I mean, he's the player that I've been noticing, not only on the offensive side, but whenever he's rotating back, you talk about getting through that last man, he is always in position to find the save. And KC, they put on some good shots, even one there, but it's always answered with at least one save or a touch from Team Queso.
KC fighting for it in their own corner here. First minute is almost upon us, still scoreless. Vatira sidewinding through the back line there and almost able to make it through. Still some time here for Joyo. Look at the space afforded to him, going for the bump. Rises there, and he got it. And it's wonderfully executed by Team Queso to put up the first goal.
And look at this play from Joyo. He goes up, gets the extra touch, and then immediately takes out Astral. There was no hesitation. It's almost as if he knew exactly how that play was going to develop before he went up, Corelli. A fantastic execution. And within the first minute and a half, we've got a fantastic quality goal from Team Queso.
Well, that's how you start things off. And you can see when you afford them a bit of space, they take advantage. Another second touch off the back wall. Nobody committing here from Queso. They're very, very disciplined on offense, and I think that's what makes them so strong. They know when to commit, but they also know when to back off.
And that's something that they've learned throughout this split. Another demo on the last man back, and it's another goal for Team Queso. Vatira, you thief. How could you do this to him?
He robbed him. But Vatira with the demo.
I mean, he deserves it, though. Let's be honest.
He does. He does. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. He deserves it. He got the demo. And again, one demo's the difference on that Karmine line. And all of a sudden, it's wide open again for Team Queso.
And I'm just such a fan right now of Team Queso and the way they're playing, because they're utilizing so many different aspects of the pitch, so many different strategies. They're getting demos. They're going for that last man back bump. There it is again. Joyo getting the bump and the physical play involved. But then on top of that, Corelli, their defense, they can recover within an instant. It's like a snap of their fingers, and then they're already back on defense, and they're ready to get the save, the rotations, the recovery from Team Queso. It's on another level. And KC, it seems as though they can't compete, but they've got 3 minutes to try.
Well, and to your point, Turtle, I think the physical game has certainly kicked up a notch here and might be the key to finishing out this series for Team Queso. The bumps, the demos have certainly opened up the defense and exposed Karmine Corp. Here's a bad touch here from
this is a chance.
Tachi, he's just got Fatira, the pass over to Steak. Astral's going to take it instead. He'll put it away. And here comes KC roaring back.
And we just saw a lovely execution on the other side, but here comes KC to get some execution themselves. All 3 players involved in this passing play. They had 1 player to get through, and they did it utilizing everybody on the field with that passing.
Great passing play there from KC and exactly what they needed. Still down by just a goal, half a game left to play. Despite some great play coming out from Queso, this one is not out of reach for KC. And plays like that will certainly help them get back into this.
And that entire play actually started from a poor touch out of Team Queso in the midfield, where it just went back into the midfield. And maybe that's an area of weakness for Team Queso. If they don't have 1 player in that midfield waiting to get a touch, that's where KC can start to mount that attack and get a threatening shot in.
Well, let's see, because right now KC is mounting the attack and still struggling to, I think, break through and getting a clean shot on the Queso side. Still very disciplined. Here's another tough ball to deal with. Tachi just pops it up to keep it awkward. And I suppose that's what you want if you can't put on the shot. Astral gets a couple dunks. Now looking for a third. He went all the way across, and it went over Tachi there. And still being just so annoying on the ball. Doing so well on the KC side to keep this one on the Team Queso half. And Team Queso, they have not done well to clear this one out. This one's right back into Stake. He wants to pass over to Tachi. He's got space to work with and the boost. Devil comes out. The net's wide open.
You just got to follow it up
for KC. They'll tie it up with the pass over to Astral.
And we've got some revenge from KC onto Team Queso. Stake taking out that last man back, getting physical themselves. And that's a play that they actually stole from Team Queso. That's got to feel good, Corelli, to get some physical plays back at the other side of the field.
Clean, clean, clean. Coming out from KC. We know their potential, and they're starting to show it here in Game 3. They've got to get the job done. They need at least one more in the final minute.
And it's a reverse sweep. Their first ever this season. It's certainly possible with this play style. They're flowing really well on offense, keeping that pressure forward. They just got to hold on.
Queso, they felt a lot of pressure there, Turtle. It was on their side and really inside of their box for 30, 40 seconds. KC did a great job of holding possession, even in tight spaces, in traffic, through the corner, through the baseline. Here comes Astral, the foot reset. A second touch from Itachi. They take the lead with 36 seconds left.
And this is why you don't doubt Astral in any moment of any tournament, game, or series, because he can put out plays like that, get a flip reset pass forward, and set up his teammate, KC, on top.
Hold on a second. KC coming back in spectacular fashion, but now they got to play a little bit of defense. Rise. They'll put that one wide. They must hold on to the final 25 seconds. Tachi wants to push it down. Got a little help, actually, from Queso as he keeps the ball. Fatira and Queso trying to mount one more attack to tie this one up. Make it even more dramatic. Why not? As Astral will spin this one around the corner. And maybe the last attack is right here for Rise.
Really. There's a chance.
Joyo. Surely they're going to keep this one up. Fatira to the wall. Astral will deny. It's going back to the Queso side, and Rise will have an opportunity to keep it up. Now it's Joyo's turn. KC being very, very careful not to overcommit here. You don't want to send too many players. Queso will make you pay. Rise will keep it up. Itachi will finally bump him out of the way. KC will get one on the board.
And it was a brutal, bloody game here, Corelli. Physical plays on both sides to get the edge whenever you're on offense, taking out that third man. So effective here for each team. And we saw a bit of a flat Team Queso, I think towards the end in the second half, they were just stuck on their own half. They couldn't get any boost. They were forced to go for big clears, but nobody could answer it because they're waiting, trying to get boost. Nobody wants to move forward. And while it started out great for Team Queso, KC, they fought back.
Yeah, and KC did a great job of kind of putting that Queso defense in a blender. When we talked about them struggling, breaking through that last man, it just took, I mean, why not just have a bunch of opportunities on net? Why not just spend so much time on the Queso side where you're going to finally break through? And I think that's really what happened for KC. And of course, a great goal or a great pass from Astro over to Itachi there on the third goal. Just good mechanics in that sense. But for KC, I really like the offense there. Again, showing that potential against Team Queso, where I think Queso actually really afforded them a lot of space and they paid for it.
Yeah, and they weren't as aggressive as we've typically seen, in the first two games of this series. Team Queso were all over the midfield. They were getting huge clears, having somebody answer, and now they're stagnant. They have 3 players on the same spot. It seems like that line of defense, they don't want to move forward, and right away we've got more offense and aggression from KC. The reverse sweep, it seems more and more likely.
And maybe a bit of taste of blood is all that KCorp needed to get back into this. Itachi now, he'll take the sky and instead just leave it, as he didn't have a ton of boost to make it work. Astro will find the back wall with a piece of Fatira. Now Rise will clear this one out for Queso. We're trying to close out this series in a regional where they haven't looked their best. They came out quite strong in game 1. But in games 2 and 3, they've looked less and less, even with the win in game 2. KCorp has certainly gotten a foothold here in this series.
Yeah, and they're reading plays better. I talked about this and was harping on the defense of KC, where they didn't know where Team Queso were trying to get these clears, but now you'll notice whenever Team Queso go for a clear, it seems like every time there is a player from KC in position. And speaking about in position, here's Steak for a shot in the corner.
He got bumped by Astral. Itachi wanted to go as well. Steak, I think, calls everyone off, says, guys, I got it. It's going back post, and he'll put it home.
That looks so weird. Where was the challenge from Team Queso? That ball was just floating, and they just waited.
I'm going to be honest with you, I think they were confused. There were multiple players going after the ball from KCorp. I don't think they knew which one was going to go.
Yeah. I don't think anybody knows what's happening right now on Team Queso. The defense thrown into a blunder. They don't know what's happening. And that's exactly where KC wanted to be.
Certainly did.
And oh, he has no boost! He has no boost! What?
Wait.
Could he still have gotten the save, though? I'm pretty sure he doesn't even need boost for this, Corelli.
He's got 4 boosts?
Wait.
I think he thought he had boost. I think he thought he had boost.
What is going on, Team Queso? The defense falling apart. What is happening?
I don't even know what to say. And certainly if he had waited, he would have gotten that. I think he thought he had boost, and he didn't.
I think he thought he might have picked up an extra pad there and had, what, an extra 11
he had 4
boost? Yeah.
He had 4 boosts going into it. So I think he might have thought he had an extra pad to get there. And he didn't, and that has cost them another goal. Queso giving up 2 to KC, and KCorp, they're looking to hold on here. And maybe pile on as another one is forced to be made safe by Joyo. Queso have not put on a lot of offense here in the last 2 games. It's been a lot of KCorp downfield right now. Another one here for Astral. Did he beat the defense? He did, but it went just wide of the net.
There's another big clear, though, Corelli. Queso, they've got to swap it up. If these massive clears that were working in game 1 and 2 stopped, which they have, I mean, literally every single player from KC knows how to intercept it. And there's another bump play attempt from Astral, who just parks his car on the goal line, making the defense look silly. And Itachi, he's here to get the follow-up.
And again, the physical play is coming up. Atira actually did a great job to get a touch on that ball.
Lovely effort.
But yeah, it was a great effort. But again, the physical play certainly paying off. We talked about it for Queso, but realistically, it's been a lot of KC just chasing down players on the Queso side, realizing that they're going to get more and more opportunities by pushing players out of the way, especially, Turtle, that last man that we've been talking about has been so pivotal for the defense of Queso. When you remove him from the equation, it's been a lot easier, but as soon as we start complimenting them, Queso comes back to life and puts one away.
And it felt like this game was already over with the mistakes that we have seen from Queso. However, there's plenty of time. I didn't even realize it, but we just passed the halfway point. There's still time for Team Queso to get back into it, but you're exactly right, Corelli. That last man back has either... I don't even know if he can be more careful, because what do you do if some player's trying to take you out? At this point, Team Queso, the rotations have got to be more safe and send maybe 2 players back instead of leaving just 1. Because if KC want to get that demo play, it might be the end of you and your defense if you're Queso.
Now, what about the offense as well?
Yeah.
And Queso certainly needs that's
there
a
it is.
touch from Matira. Joyo's got to get over it. And here comes Queso, roaring back again. 2 goals back, and they're within 1.
And it seems like they baited in the offense of KC, letting them get confident, going for every single shot, every single clear. And then all of a sudden, this speed from Team Queso comes out of nowhere, and you've got yourself within 1.
2 minutes to play. Seems like this game is twice as long as a normal one.
Yeah.
And for KC, it certainly feels that way, as they were up with a hefty margin, and now Team Queso have reduced it to just 1.
I mean, it felt like Queso were bound to lose this game, Corelli, at the beginning. The mistakes that we saw from them, but what a recovery for them to get back on defense and now get saves like that out of Rise.
They've been doing it all game. It's just been KCorp that's been spending so much time on the Queso side. Here they come again. Itachi's not going to get to that one first. Rise will deny. But it's been a bit of a different Queso as well. The offense, not as crisp as we saw early on. And I think that's just because they've had to play a lot more defense now. KCorp really turned it on. Another one goes through. Itachi will put away a 4th.
And it's an early read here from him where he's waiting, lurking to get a follow-up. He just got the 50-50 and then continues moving forward to get the interception. I don't think Rise expected him to recover so quickly off the sidewall. I mean, he just went for the 50-50 and right away he's back in action.
And a welcome goal, I think, for KC. Especially when Queso maybe getting too close for comfort, being just down by a goal with a minute left. Now 2. As Rise fighting for it in the corner. Are we going to a game 5? It would make sense with the way Queso's games have gone this regional.
Oh, but they're on the other side of it now. I mean, they had to get 2 reverse sweeps themselves, and now they're looking to fend off a reverse sweep.
Definitely a difference in mentality.
Yeah.
Rise, can he do it himself? He's going to slice through 1.
Oh
my goodness. Astral almost able to put it away. It's off the post. Or off the crossbar, excuse me. Joyo on the follow-up as the clear comes through for KC. Rise almost just sliced and diced his way through KC.
Oh, wait, there's a chance. Joyo, 20 seconds left. They're not giving up yet. An early goal could leave them maybe a couple of seconds to get the equalizer. It's almost impossible unless Matira can pop off here. He doesn't get the shot. And with 10 seconds left, all Astral has to do here is kill time. And this game, it looks like it's going to send us into game 5 off that goal from Astral.
Wow. And this is just impressive work, I think, from Karmine Corp. I mean, the way we were talking about them in game 1, it was not pretty, right? Queso looked way, way better than KCorp. But now, you see what's evolved here in games 3 and 4 in particular, but even in game 2, I think, you really start to believe in KC. They've done a great job of putting on more and more offense, and this is the potential that everyone's been talking about. I know the desk all picked Queso. I think picking Queso was the absolute correct choice in this matchup. But you just never know if KCorp's going to come out the way they have today. And it's been a slow start, but it's been a good ending so far.
And the thing of it is KCorp, they've adapted in the middle of this series, Corelli. They've changed their play style. They've gotten more aggressive. They've answered to fight fire with fire, which I say frequently, because when a team like Queso is just bullying you on the field, you have to fight back. It's the only way. And we have seen this from KCorp. They're getting more demos. They're being more aggressive. And we're seeing them get 50-50s as well in the corners, going for those challenges that they wouldn't have gone for in the first 2 games. And as we go into game 5, what do we get on Team Queso? Because KCorp, they've got the winning playstyle. It seems like they have the edge. They have the momentum. Everything right now on the line for Team Queso to adapt and for them to change up how they're playing because things are not working for them.
Well, I do think the physical gameplay is something to keep in mind coming out from KCorp against Queso. I think that's been a huge boon to the offense of KC and has certainly slowed down the defense and transition game from Queso. So we'll see game 5 between Karmine Corp and Team Queso.
Oh man, we're getting mechanics out of Astral too. I'm here for it, Corelli. This is gonna be a great game 5.
An opportunity to send home the #1 seed at the moment, and maybe not for long if Queso loses this game going into the Winter Major. It would be a huge upset, especially with BDS already out.
Oh, there's the demos, the physical game, starting off early. Steak Let's see if that continues on.
Vatira's got to work his magic. He's made a mistake or two here in this series. Redemption is now here in game 5. Oh, a tough challenge there for Joyo, and Astral's already up. He ran out of boost, but he got a good touch to the back wall. Vatira, that's all he could do. Itachi on the shot. Wise in and out save to turn it away. That was a huge opportunity.
And I thought for sure that would have been a goal, but Rise, the hero, the guardian angel right now out of Team Queso, keeps them alive, going in and out of the net, and gets the save on that recovery.
Here's Vatira to the sky. A flip reset, but couldn't get back under it properly, and a good challenge by Casey either way. A minute and a half is upon us here in the first, or excuse me, in game 5. It's Casey still trying to figure out the Queso defense, and that's a big miss. Joyo with the poor clear here as he does get a good touch to set himself up for the challenge at least. Vatira off to the races. Does he put it on target? He will, and Casey gets caught out again.
And it was a good interception early on, that 50-50 from Joyo. And then you have two players, Itachi and Steak, they're in the same spot. The rotations stepping over each other's feet, and they can't seem to get into a proper spot to find that rotation back. And that is a painful one. In game 5, rotations and mistakes where your positioning is just slightly off, that's something you can't afford, Corelli.
You absolutely can. And again, even without the demo that time, KC line pushed up so far.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I assumed there was a demo or something physical that might have set them off, but it looked like it was just their positioning.
Very eager to move downfield, RKC, and in most cases it works out for them, and I think that's where their success has been on offense. Just that one getting caught out there. Oh, he's worked his magic there. Redemption for him as he puts away a second.
And you called him out, and then he answered, Corelli. Vatira, he gets the wave dash, the flip reset. He saved it to use on the ground, gets some speed moving into that shot, and sends Team Queso 2-0.
Wow, what a turnaround for Queso. When they needed it most here in game 5. Still plenty of time though, half a game left for KC. They've got to get going. You know that Queso's gonna pile on. Astral, he can't get out of his corner. Steak will throw it downfield. Vatira's there to answer. Good touch by Astral, looking for follow-up. Tachi's there, another one here. Steak, can he put it on target? It was weak. And Vatira is able to make the save. It was a good offense there from KC, but just couldn't put a solid shot on target.
And that's where the demos come into a huge play, because you've got 3 players from Team Queso. They like to line up a bit on defense, Corelli, and I'm not sure if it's a benefit for them. Maybe they like to have people in similar spots on the defense because then they can all opt in to go for a challenge. But you'll notice, you know, Vatira and Rise, they're in a similar spot. Joyo is staying really close to the rotations, and while it allows them to get more saves, it makes demoing them that much easier. And here's Steak to get a demo on Rise. Does it lead to something? I guess not, because Vatira, he is right in position to take it away from you. Great play here by Steak to get out. And the demo. It's just Vatira. He's getting bumped as well. Surely a shot comes through. Itachi couldn't connect. And now the counter's on. Rise got to tap in. And it's 3-0 for Team Queso. And you just simply can't make these mistakes. You've got to find a touch there, even if you don't put the shot on net in a situation where it's a beautiful opportunity. You don't find a touch, it's over. They're going to punish even whenever they should have been the ones getting scored on.
And it wasn't the easiest shot in the world for Itachi to get over, but he just didn't make any contact on it. The net was open. Casey did everything right and just couldn't put it away. Astral has a chance. He passes it over Steak. Here's one for KC to get it back. And they've got a minute and 18 seconds left for 2.
Yep, and there's no way that Steak misses this one. A nice pass across, and Astral, a very selfless pass, might I add as well. He could have easily gone for the shot himself, but decided to go for the easier route, and that's the one across the net, allowing Steak to put one on target. 2 goals now within the next minute and 15 seconds. Do they have what it takes, Corelli?
I think they do have what it takes. It's just, are they going to show it? That's the question. KC. Winter split on the line here. Steak Into the Queso corner. A big clear from Rise, only to the hands of Astro, looking for his touch off the ceiling. Flip reset there. Comes out the stake. Has an opportunity for the
Another
shot.
one.
He'll put it away.
What?
Queso nowhere to be found, and they're within one.
And we're waiting for Queso to go for the challenge. You had Joyo who's up for that one from Astro, but then Vatira and Rise, they're in the same spot. Vatira didn't want to move forward. He's getting pestered a bit by an offender from Karmine Corp who's looking for a demo, and now it's just one goal that separates these guys in a position where Team Queso, they should have taken this game easily.
Rise went for the in-and-out save, and it was too far gone.
Oh, man.
Just couldn't get out in time.
What is this series, Corelli?
Possibly an overtime with the way it's been going. Itachi, well, he got a fortunate touch, but now it's gone down to Joyo. Vatira there. Can he put this one away? Looking for two. Gets it, but he just went high on the second touch. It was a tough angle.
Oh no.
Oh no. Vatira with a huge save off the post. That was it for KC. 15 seconds left. They got to go the length of the field. And it's not going to be easy. They got Joyo in front. And he'll go into the challenge. Astral has to go. Vatira also gets a piece.
And the demo.
He's taken out of the play. Queso all over him here in the final seconds. Stake on the back wall. Can he keep it up? Itachi will. But Joyo's not going to let them out. It's up to Astral. And I think Rise is going to kill it. He will. And Team Queso will stay alive in Game 5 and continue on.
A heartbreaking matchup and series overall for KCorp. It looked like there was a chance. There was a small moment. They got back into this Game 5. Those 2 goals off of the mistakes from KCorp and their positioning. And you think there's a chance. You even remember there was, what, 20 seconds left, and that shot went all the way across the field. And of course, I believe it was Vatira, Corelli, who got that save and kept Team Queso alive and in the lead.
Wow. So many close opportunities there for KCorp as well. I mean, there were chances to at least tie up this Game 5. They had glimpses where they looked great. And for most of the series, I think they looked pretty good, but Queso just able to edge them out here. And I really think we talked about the offense quite a bit for Queso. I think it was the defense. They did a great job, and for the most part, it wasn't perfect, but for the most part, they stayed disciplined on defense, did not let KC kind of put them in this blender with so many opportunities, especially from games 3, 4, and 5. It felt like Karmine Corp had so many more chances than Queso.
And we've harped frequently on the rotations for Team Queso to get back on defense. Previously in different seasons, or maybe even in a different split, thinking back to the fall split, their rotations back were a bit sluggish, and now they fixed that. And we saw a little bit of leg room for KCorp to make some damage and to do some damage on offense with that last man rotating back. But at the end of the day, you've got 3 players looking to get that rotation. They found the save, and that's what kept them alive here.
Yeah, they certainly did, and they found enough goals to put away KC. It was a close match, Turtle, and the best part is that's only match 1. We've got so many more here for the rest of the day. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, more EU Rocket League.